Hey, what's going on, guys? Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and Happy New Year and Happy Awesome. I'm going to go over a quick subject, but before I do that, I want to bring you some holiday cheer. Gina Carano. Respectfully, Gina is one of the most beautiful women on the planet. She's got a great attitude, good heart, just a good person. If you don't know, she was a mixed martial artist, a Muay Thai fighter. She fought in Thailand for many years, then she came and fought in MMA for years, and she became a champion of, not the UFC, I can't remember the division. And her father was a quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys back in the 70s. You know, it might have been the 80s. I'm not 100% sure when he was a Cowboy. Isn't that a beautiful lady? I want to say something in this video. Not all women are bad and evil. There's a lot of good people out there. Another thing you have to understand, which is what we're leading into in this video, is people, men and women, get hurt. We get lied to. We get tricked. We learn things that may not be the best way to go through life, but we don't know any better. So sometimes just realizing this, it can help you to kind of take a deep breath and take a step back and realize a lot of times when you get hurt or when people do things that are kind of questionable, it's not necessarily personal. It's not that they're purposely doing this to you. It's kind of like, well, this is all they know. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Now, I'm a neurolinguistic programmer, which is a newer form of psychology, trained in it for 12 years. And I'm also a master Ericksonian hypnotherapist. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because we have what we call programs. In NLP, we literally call it meta programs. Another way of saying it, and it's another word we use in NLP, is people unconsciously have strategies. They have steps, like anywhere between 3 to 5 to 7 steps, sometimes maybe even more. A little bit complicated, but, you know. So these strategies are completely unconscious. Now, when I work with people, this is one of the things I'm looking for, going, okay, what's going wrong with your strategy? And a lot of times you're like, I just don't understand what I'm doing wrong. Well, yeah, because it's unconscious. So I have to go in there and find out what's not working in your strategy, what's not getting you what you want. And then realizing like, oh, we just need to change this to this over here. And all of a sudden, boom, this new strategy works better. Now, these are literally programs. They're a strategy that they literally have a trigger like a gun. You pull the trigger, boom, it starts this whole series of events that makes this bullet fly out. So it's not like 1, 2. It's usually, I think a gun has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Technically, if you include the charge and the explosion and the bullet going out, it has 5+ steps in its strategy. And it's super quick. Now, here's the thing. Human beings have the same thing. You might have a 5-step strategy that it goes click, zip, and it's done. I mean, it literally can be done in a half a second. So a lot of you guys, if you haven't been successful with women, you have an unconscious strategy that somewhere within the strategy, it has a step that does not get you what you want. And that's the problem with a lot of strategies that we hold on to. They're not getting us what we want. Yet, because they're familiar, we cling to them for life, and 10, 15, 20, 30 years go by and we never got what we wanted. Kind of like these Waymo cars. So today is December 21st, the darkest day of the year. Yesterday, San Francisco had a huge, almost 60 or 70% power outage throughout the city. Well, guess what the Waymo cars did? They just fucking stopped. In the middle of traffic. They literally just stopped. Here's what the thing is, like, I'm thinking, you mean to tell me those things didn't have enough battery power or intelligence to just pull over and park like in an empty spot or next to the curb to get out of the way? No, they don't have that intelligence. It's not part of their strategy. They don't function very well under these circumstances. So here's the deal. Now, the people who built these things in the computers are going, okay, we have a major problem here. This is not acceptable. This strategy of these cars just stopping in the middle of the street, it's not acceptable. So now here's the smart thing. These owners, these managers, these techies are going, okay, this is not acceptable. We have got to find a solution. So now it triggered their strategy of, okay, we have to find a better solution. What's a better solution? What do we want? What's a better thing than just stopping in the middle of traffic? Well, pretty much anything, such as pulling off the road or pulling over to the side at least. So now they're going, okay, so what do we need to do to make this happen? Now these people are a lot smarter than the majority of people, and I'm talking 93%, maybe even more. Most people, even though they keep coming up to a problem like, okay, this is unacceptable, they just keep going on with the strategy. They never stop and think, okay, this has got to fucking change. You know who changed the most? People that are unbelievably addicted to heavy drugs, because there comes a point in time where like, okay, this is unacceptable. This has to change. And that's what it takes for most human beings to stop and go, okay, I need to do something about this. And I really need to do something about this now. But a teenage boy, a guy in his 20s and even 30s and even 40s, no, it's going to work. It's going to work one day. And this is the one thing that's different between men and women. And this is why women are getting ahead in life. The male brain is like, no, I've got singularness of focus. I'm just going to keep going down this line using the strategy. I'm just going to keep trying harder and harder and harder and harder and harder. And eventually, one day, someday, I'm going to get the girl of my dreams. I'm going to find a girl that's nice to me, someone who's actually respectful, etc., etc. And that day never comes because you never change your strategy. Now here's why. The left brain has singularness of focus. It focuses on one thing. The right brain is all about options and possibilities. Now these are the people that tend to be the owners of tech companies, the owners of businesses, the owners of production companies, because they're always looking for different solutions. Well, you can't do that in the left brain, but you can do it in the right brain, because the right brain is the open brain that sees a multitude, hundreds, thousands, millions of different solutions and possibilities. If you can't go into that open door and start looking around for different solutions, you'll never find one. Guess what my course Crack the Female Code does? It gives you very, very powerful and very successful strategies that actually work. And one of the strategies is teaching you over and over and over and over to condition it into you. When you run into a Waymo problem, such as you have 3 Waymo cars blocking the road from left to right, that's not good. We need to look for a solution. It conditions into you to when you come into one of those problems that you realize, okay, this is unacceptable, pop, it pops you over to your right brain and it opens you up to see all the options and possibilities of how we can make this better and find and create a better solution. Most men don't do that ever. These are men that go into their 50s and 60s and become these angry, grumbling men because, life didn't work out. Well, yeah, because you held on to that strategy that you learned when you were 3 years old from your father who wasn't successful, or your brother or whoever who wasn't. Like, you get these guys who haven't had a date in 15 fucking years telling you advice on how to meet women. You're like, dude, those are the wrong people to listen to. Here's another strategy that most men listen to. They'll go to these red pill videos, these red pill clubs, and I forget the other one for red pill, men going their own way. These are men, like I used to watch these videos years ago, like these guys, I haven't had a date in 5 years, and women, and like, I'm not listening to you, buddy. And yet you guys will just verbatim listen to these guys. So the solution is don't date, don't talk to women, avoid women. Is that what you really want? You don't need to listen to a red pill video or men going their own way video to learn that. You don't need to spend hours and hours. So here's what you're doing. This is a very human pattern that we use. When we have a belief, we try to look for other people who have the same belief to support our beliefs. So if your belief is all women are bad, you're going to find a lot of people that say the same thing, that'll even give you examples in their life, which becomes magical proof, which is not proof, just their own bullshit. And suddenly you're like, yeah, see, I'm right. I'm never going to date again. Well, if that's your goal, then I guess that's a pretty good strategy. What I'm trying to say is it's better to be awesome than to be not awesome. Now, one of the effects of my course, and I'm going to get onto something right after this. One of the effects of my course is men begin to learn how to use their right brain. They begin to learn to see all the options and possibilities and go, wow, this is a much better. And not only do you get to see them, you get to see the best ones, the best solutions. So you start becoming a solution-oriented person. again, Abenov is a perfect living example. Is he went from this kid who had just this horrible, just like buzz haircut. I mean, the guy would just buzz it all the way down, and he was paying this dude to do this. And I'm like, well, why don't you just, are you paying the guy? He goes, well, yeah, of course. I'm like, well, have him give you a little style. Like, oh, I don't know, man, I don't know. But he was so shut down that he didn't think he deserved it. The thing was, the guy had a great work ethic. He showed up every day on time. He worked the whole time. He had great customer service. And I remember, like, after I met him I'm like, dude, like, why are you working here? I go, you're a way better worker than what they're paying you for. Why don't you just go apply for a job that pays more? Huh, never thought about that. Yeah, options and possibilities. Right brain. Once we got him to start seeing the options and possibilities, he started looking for his own place to live because his mother treated him like shit. That's a long, messed up story right there alone. She and his sister beat him down. So his whole world started to open up. Literally, the right brain is the open brain. It literally opens up. You start seeing the possibilities of what you can do. So he went one place, realized he didn't like living there. So he went to another place, whereas before he would have just put up with the shit. I worked with a billionaire, a guy who owned a multi-billion dollar company. He was the head CEO of this company, and he was having a major problem. He heard some of my videos on my other channel, and he contacted me. In 1 hour and a half session, we figured out how to fix what his problem is. And I don't know anything about his industry at all, because it's not about that. It's about getting him to see the answers that he already has. But he had to learn how to open up to the options and possibilities, because the strategies that he was using were not working anymore in this new era. I charged him $250, feeling awesome about that. I didn't feel any, guilt about, oh, that's too much. No, it wasn't too much money. In fact, that was nothing. He ended up giving me a $300 tip on PayPal. All right, let me say one more thing about this. My course, Crack the Female Code, it changes your life for the better in every area of your life. Business, sales, marketing, running a business, dating, relationships, love, self-esteem, emotional power, feeling good about yourself. Your happiness is going to go up. There's no two ways about it. Abenov, I've talked about Abenov enough. His whole life turned around. He started dressing with style. He started wearing leather jackets. He started wearing designer shirts. He got his hair cut really cool. Everything changed. He started dating. His whole world changed. The techniques you learn in my course will improve your sales. A lot of businessmen that are in sales, they'll call me 6 months later going, holy shit, dude, my sales have gone up by 25%, etc., etc. Here's the thing, my course, Crack the Female Code, it doesn't end the day you walk out. I promise you, in the next 6 months, your entire world is going to implode in a very good way. It's going to amplify. It's going to go up and up and up. You start to see all the things you learn in the course. You see it everywhere. You hear the language everywhere. You see the techniques everywhere. Like, man, this applies to everything. So your world gets amplified on a massive scale. The first 6 months are going to go by fast because you're going to be like, holy, like it is. What's the word? I can't find the right word for it. It changes everything for the better. And then in the next year and a half after that, you keep learning, growing, developing. And everything comes from the course. So don't think it's going to be done the day you walk out. That's just the beginning. Your brain is going to massively amplify, learn, grow, and expand. Okay, today's video is going to be about a perspective shift. Now, because I'm aware of what strategies are and how unconscious they are, we call them unconscious strategies. I was dating this young lady, very young, in her 20s, young 20s. She made the moves on me big time and was very consistent. So I thought, you know what the hell, why not? Well, I kind of ran up against I don't know if I want to call it a typical problem, but I realized she had a strategy that she was using that wasn't working for her, and it wasn't working for me. Now, I really liked this young lady. She was gentle. She was kind. I think it was the gentleness it was something about her gentleness and kindness that just kind of melted my heart. And I was like, I really like this girl. So here's the thing. I was paying for lunch. I was paying for dinner. It wasn't a big deal. We weren't going out to expensive things. And she was poor. She was pretty broke, struggling, just trying to make ends meet. And I had no problems doing this for her because she was such a kind young lady. And I thought just being in her presence for me was more than enough. I didn't really care. Now, you know how I've been talking about strategies and unconscious strategies and programs? Well, she had a program that made her believe that she had to play games to kind of get you on the hook, to hold on to you, to keep you around, and to keep you paying the bill, right? Like to pay for stuff. Now, again, we weren't doing expensive stuff. It was like really like tacos and just really cheap stuff. And I was just wanted to help out. Every now and then I'll do this for someone. Well, she didn't realize that she didn't have to play mind games or kind of like mentally control me to keep me around. In fact, what it ended up doing was it ended up making me leave, because I even brought it up and said, "Hey, you don't have to do this. It's okay. I'm going to pay for this. No worries." Now, we all have strategies where we do stuff and we screw ourselves over, okay? I can't think of one right now, but I've had strategies in the past where when I got older, when I started learning about NLP and unconscious strategies, like, man, why am I doing that? Like, I'm literally just pissing people off doing that. Okay, like a Benev. A Benev used to think, because he really believed, he goes, well, you can't tell people the truth because then they're going to get mad. So he would always kind of like not tell the truth and kind of tell his convoluted version of something. I would always walk away confused, and one day I got pissed. I go, why the fuck do you lie to me? What the fuck? I go, dude, just tell me the truth. Trust me. I'm going to be a lot happier. When you fucking like leave things out and the story doesn't make sense, I go, it just pisses me off. And here's the deal. He goes, well, I'm just afraid to tell the truth. I go, why? I go, everybody likes the truth. He goes, no, people get mad. I go, just try it. I go, if it doesn't work, then don't ever talk to me again. I go, I promise you, even if you fucked me over, stabbed me in the back, and you tell me the truth, I'm going to feel way better than this convoluted, confusing, bullshit set of lies. Now, here's the deal. I was actually doing something therapeutic with a Benev without letting him know. I had picked up on that this guy really had this strategy. If he just felt like he had to lie, because otherwise people were going to get upset. And so I forget what he said, but he said, but people get mad when you tell the truth. And I said, but a Benev, you have never told the truth. Everything you share is a half-truth, a mistruth. You leave part of it out. I go, they're getting mad because you're lying to them, not because you're telling the truth. And you could see his brain go, huh, shit. Because the whole time he wasn't telling the pure truth. Somewhere he would leave something out or some kind of hidden thing. And I said to Benev, you've never told the truth. How do you know if people are going to get mad? He went, huh. So his brain started making the connection. And then I said, just tell me the fucking truth. Even if you fucked me over, lied to me, stabbed me, just tell me the truth. Now here's the deal. Watch this. He told me the truth. I went, oh, that actually makes sense. And what happened was I got clarity. Now my energy completely shifted. And his unconscious mind sensed that and went, huh, okay. Oh, this is a lot better. And I remember saying to him, why would you think that that would upset me? And he thought about it because, I don't know. He just had this blank, blind belief that if you tell the truth, people are going to get mad, so you got to make something up. Without ever even stopping and thinking about what he was actually going to say. And then I added to his strategy. I go, if you tell someone the truth and they get mad at you, then just walk away. Don't talk to them again. He went, huh, that's an option? I'm like, yeah, that's an option. You don't have to talk to people anymore if you don't want to. He was like, oh, so here's what happened. That one pivotal moment changed everything for him. He went from this guy that was kind of hiding. He wouldn't get the haircut that he wanted. He didn't dress in the style that he wanted. He didn't live with people that treated him well because he felt like he had to hide. And this unconscious strategy was causing him to pull people around him that would yell at him, people that weren't good people. He wasn't getting what he wanted out of life. So all of a sudden, life started to open up. And now he started living a happy, awesome. So I'm dealing with this young lady, and she had this belief or strategy. It was unconscious, of course, where she felt, like, look, I really need help, and I need a little bit of extra money. Now, I never gave her money, but I would buy things. Like, I would pay for lunches and dinners and, just make sure she was fed. So she would do the hot and cold game and, do stuff like that, which I don't like. And I said, hey, you don't have to do this. I go, look, if you don't want to go out with me, let me just give you money so you can buy yourself some food. Okay, and that's the point we got to. And she says, oh, no, that's okay. She just couldn't understand that there was a better way to go about things. was kind of like a Benef. He was going around pissing everyone off, wondering like, why is everyone always mad at me? I'm like, well, because you lied to everyone. Now, if Benef's intentions weren't bad, like he was trying to screw people over or be a liar, he just thought that people don't like the truth. And I'm sure, well, his mom used to yell at him all the time. So he learned, don't tell the truth. Now here's the perspective shift. I'm sure you've already had a few in this video. I didn't get mad at this young lady because I realized she doesn't know any better. She doesn't know how. Because here's the thing that really confused me was this was a really good person. She was just a kind, gentle, good-hearted person who believed, like a Benef had a slightly different belief. She believed that you had to play these games to keep someone around and to keep someone around to help you. When I was like, I told her, look, I would be more than willing just to help you out in this way. I go, your company's amazing. I love being around you. You got great energy, but I don't want the control games and that kind of stuff, right? So instead of walking away feeling, oh, she manipulated me, oh, she hurt me, oh, she damaged me, oh, and getting angry and all women are just evil, and I'm going to join a homosexual red pill club, I'm going to join the stoic club and just never talk to women ever again. But I'm for damn sure going to join the men walking away club because they're walking away from what they want, and that's much more stoic than anything on the planet. Fuck that, I'm going to find a hot, rich Asian chick and date her. I'm going to go to a club. I'm going to find a girl that's fun to be around. Someone who likes to go out and do things. But you guys, you can join your clubs. You can hang out with dudes who hang out with other dudes. And then tell yourself that you're not a dude that likes to hang out with other dudes. Merry Christmas, bitches. I'm starting to have too much fun making these videos. God damn it, click subscribe now for more information, tactics, and better strategies to get laid fast. And guess what? To actually learn how to love each other, be happy, and more understanding. And have a better perspective where, hey, they're just using an unconscious strategy that's not working for them. And remember, people can change. There's people like me called NLP trainers and master hypnotherapists of Erickson hypnosis who actually go inside and help people to make better strategies. We can find better solutions. Let Cracked Female Code be your club where you're hanging out with other dudes who are hanging out with a bunch of hot chicks. Now that's the club I want to belong to. Peace.